Let's take a look at paper 3. This will be the last paper that you submit for this course. It is 10% of your overall grade. It's a reflection on web-based course design process. So this is going to be a paper that synthesizes your learning throughout the course. And you're going to reflect on your own learning and put it all together, so to speak. So there are two main issues and topics that you have to address, which would be you have to talk about what are the issues that should be considered and addressed when moving a course from face to face to an online environment. Okay, so let me explain that. During your group project, you took a face to face course, you then moved it to the online environment. You made changes to the course along the way. So, what were your considerations? What were the issues you consciously were aware of and you addressed from a design standpoint? For example, when you move a course from the face-to-face to the online environment, your first module is an introduction module, and you might have different activities in your introduction module. So why do you have these activities? What was the purpose behind them? Now, some activities you might have also found it challenging, as in it's easy to do it face to face, but how do I move it to the online environment? It doesn't work. So you have to redesign it or come up with a whole new activity. So these are the things that you want to think about and talk about in your paper. Now, remember all the points that you're making, you need to put it in the context of our adult learners, and you're bringing in all the literature. So if you're asking them for an introductory icebreaker, you can link it to sense of presence. Now, if you are talking about assessments and alignment, that would then go towards design alchemy. What kind of learning theories motivated you? Were you using a constructivist approach? So bring everything in together and think about all the influences that made you come up with this particular course as it is. And also talk about what are the strategies to creating a successful online learning environment for adult learners. So this is more open as such. You can generally talk about good practices for designing an online course, especially for adult learners, because remember, the support structures that you have to provide for them is much more than what would be required for traditional students. It maybe not much more, but at least different. So you're addressing the needs of the adult learner over here. So what are the strategies that went into it or that need to be considered when you're creating a course for adult learners? And again, use literature from, well, the last 10 years. You can draw from the readings that we did in the course, any peer-reviewed journal articles, up to you. Now, your paper should be 5 to 8 pages long, APA, and the criteria is here. Now, I'm giving 40 points for the content. Is it comprehensive, appropriate, and of good quality? So I will be looking at issues and strategies. Have you addressed all of them? Have you really thought it through and linked literature to what you did in your online course design and synthesized everything together? Okay. And then, of course, documentation and clarity and style, but I'm only giving 5 points for those. It's the content that I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to in this particular paper.